Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, a veteran in this channel, welcome back for yet another exciting episode of Risk Money and Insurance. And so if you're here for the first time, well, just welcome. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a new video, which will be on a Thursday morning at 7 a.m. And so today I promised in the last video that I will, have a video where we just chat about buyer's regret, because I think it's a huge deal. It is a huge thing. And, dissecting into that and dealing with it to say, what is buyer's regret and how do I make sure that, I don't have to be stuck with something that I don't like 2 weeks down the line or a month down the line and all of that. Okay, cool. So before wasting any of your time, let's just dive into the video. So, okay, let's do this. Right now, buyer's regret, right? What is it? So buyer's regret is when you buy something, something that you think you need or something that you think you really, really, really want. And then later on, a month down the line, 2 months down the line, you have it now and you just feel, man, I don't like this thing. Like, oh my goodness, why did I even buy this thing, right? And it's real. I mean, it's something that we don't talk about, but it's actually very real. And it manifests itself mostly in, long-term commitments, like things that you buy and you sort of have a commitment to maintain them, to pay them off over the long term. So things like your car, things like your house, but it also, even in the small things, right? So things like your laptop or things like your phone or things like, the clothes that you're buying, for example, right? So buyer's regret can actually hit you after you've bought those things. And so it's one of those things where you in as much as you want to balance out getting what you want, you must not just think about this is what I want now. And I think that's very important. Let's say, for example, you want to go buy a car. I'm using the car example because we were talking about balloon payments last week, right? Let's just say you actually just want to buy a car, right? And the whole excitement gets to you because you're like, oh my gosh, freedom, freedom, it's coming. And you don't really think about, am I buying this car to keep it for the long term, or is this car just a temporary solution? So it's a thing where now perhaps you don't really spend enough time shopping around, or you don't spend enough time really deciding what you want, right? What you want when you go buy a car. And I was so grateful to actually have my dad guide me through the process. We had a long list of things to actually ask the dealership about buying a car, because I don't know much about cars, and I was just I'm just excited to be driving, that's all. So it's quite important to actually have that list of to say, this is the car that I want, before you even start shopping or go doing whatever. Before you even start doing all of that, just have a list, right, of questions or things that you feel are important for you to have in a car. For example, you might say, I don't want manual, I want automatic. And of course, there's an argument to say people who drive automatic are lazy compared to those who do manuals. When I listen, if you feel you will be fine with this and this, leave some of us alone. Leave some of us alone. Leave some of us alone. If you feel you'll be fine here, if you feel you'll be fine with the gears, and leave some of us alone, You're comfortable, do what you want to, leave us alone. But anyways, if you feel that's what you want, sharp. And of course, manual cars are actually cheaper than automatic cars, even for the same model. So I mean, something to consider. And also another thing, it will be how much space do you want in a car? Do you want a small car where it's just it's just you, you don't want like a family car and all of that. Like, these are the things that are important and things that matter to you as a person, right? The color as well, that's really important, because you don't want to look at your car a few weeks or years down the line and be like, oh, I hate this thing. I hate this color. Or maybe this color looks immature. You're growing and you now feel, oh, this car looks immature for my age. And this can be like a year down the line where you're just like, yo, what was I thinking? And there are also other things, to actually consider, like, okay, do I want parking assistance or not? What are the things that are important to you, right? For some people, will be like, I don't care about all the fancy things, I just want something that moves from point A to point B. And also, that's okay. We are all different and we want different things. So that's okay as well. There's no shame in that, because that's what you want, right? And so the important thing is to know what you want, right? To have an idea of also what you don't want, because that's important. You might have an idea of what you think you want, but then it's also very important to also have an idea of, this is what I don't want in the thing that I'm trying to buy. Be it, a house, be it a car. Have that list to say, these are some of the things that I don't want to actually have in a car. I don't want a car that, has a specific design at the back, or I don't want a car with, ugly interior. I want like fancy interior. Whatever it is that you don't want, you must just also have a list of those things as well. And this is because you don't want to find out that you don't like something, whereas you've already committed to a certain car and it's 2 months down the line and you already have this thing in your backyard. Now, every time when you get into your car, you are depressed because you're just like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. I don't want this anymore. So it's some of those things that end up with you actually having a buyer's regret. And another thing is, perhaps you underestimated, the cost of actually having that thing. For example, with a car, perhaps you underestimated insurance and like installment and petrol, and how those combined will actually affect, your budget. So that's another point to say, okay, I know I can buy this thing, but can I afford it, right? That's where that question comes in to say, in as much as I can actually say I can buy this thing, perhaps my calculation was wrong. Turns out that I actually can't afford this thing. So you don't want to be in a position where you didn't think through whatever you want. And what I will also say is, if you're thinking of buying a car, or if you're thinking of buying a house or whatever it is, then go around, shop around, make your own list about what are the things that you want, what are the things that you do not want, so that you have a pretty good idea when you find that car that it ticks your boxes, and that you'll be happy as a person driving that car. Like, you would be happy because this thing is chowing your money, so it might as well make you happy in the process. So you'll be happy and satisfied and content with the decision that you have made. And also, this decision shouldn't be strangling you financially, because imagine you're stuck with a car that you can't afford. You're stuck with a car that you actually don't enjoy driving. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why would you put yourself under such stress, unnecessary stress even, just because you want to drive? So it's quite important to take your time and really think about what you want, what you do not want. And of course, with different cars, with models and all of that, it's also quite important to consider, hey, if you're in Joburg or if you're in Cape Town, think about, your safety as an individual driving that car. Think about, the fuel consumption. Think about all those things, because it's quite important. And I think I'll just share with you guys in the next video the questions that my dad shared with me, to say, what do you ask a dealership when you go buy a car? Things like that. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. Thank you for watching until the end. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, bye.